Yes. Welcome to another episode on Anglicanism with the Venerable David Nwanekpe. You're welcome. You recall that the last time we discussed about Anglican priest formation, the formation stage of an Anglican priest. And in this, my content, I have always talked about the laity, the clergy. And so today I thought of bishops, because these are the three houses that make a church. So I want to differentiate the process of selecting a Catholic bishop, an Anglican bishop universally, and an Anglican bishop in Nigeria, in the Nigerian context, in Church of Nigeria, Anglican Communion context, and the Pentecostal system. So, having said that, in the Catholic Church, once the diocesan bishop, remember a diocesan bishop is the bishop that is in charge of the diocese. Okay? So let's get that clear. The bishop that is in charge of a diocese is called the diocesan bishop. And so nobody serves forever. A time comes when this diocesan bishop retires. There could be other bishops in a diocese, but only one will have the title diocesan. You may have auxiliary bishop, you may have suffragan bishop, you may have missionary bishop, all in one diocese, but only one will be the chief shepherd. The word bishop actually is derived from the Greek word episkopos, meaning the leader, the shepherd. Okay, a shepherd. So a bishop is the leader of his diocese. Originally, a diocese is in the Roman Catholic setting, or originally the word diocese is a Latin word where the Roman Empire institutes a particular area and puts a bishop to take in charge of that see. So a time comes when anybody serving will have to retire. So at the retirement of a bishop in the Roman Catholic Church, there must be a new bishop, isn't that? So the process goes like this. The provincial archbishop will call for his fellow bishops in the province. A province means dioceses located in certain area. And so when these provincial bishops gather, they take nominations among themselves, who better candidates. And once that emerges, it's sent to the apostolic nuncio. Apostolic nuncio is the representative of the Pope. In each country, the Pope has a representative, and it's called the nuncio. And the nuncio takes the names that are nominated, usually three. He takes it to Rome, where they have the conference of bishops. So the conference of bishops will look at the names suggested, so to say, and make their recommendations and present this to the Holy Father, the Pope. Now, the Pope, in his wisdom, remember in the Roman Catholic Church, they believe in the infallibility of the Pope. And somehow even the infallibility of the bishop. So the Pope, in the Holy Father, in his wisdom, chooses among the three, or can even go outside the three names that were given to him, or four names. Can decide to ignore the whole process and choose a candidate. And once the Holy Father announces a candidate, the nuncio makes it known to the outgoing bishop, who then informs the bishop-elect. And the process of his consecration and ordination takes place. That is in the Roman Catholic Church. Now, in the Anglican Church, it's a little different, because we in Church of Nigeria practice it very differently. Take, for instance, in Church of England or in the Episcopal Church, once a bishop is doomed for retirement, the local diocese where he is currently serving will be notified. And there will be conference committee, selection committee that will be set. Though dioceses practice it differently, but this is the universal, the most universal way. So when the committee meets, they take nominations from the local parish and the canonical resident priests. They then send a notice to the standing committee of the diocese, which is the highest policy-making body of the diocese, and they will now hold an election. An election within the diocese will be held. Via parishes will have representatives. You know, these people are nominated from parishes. So the committee narrows it down to 3. So I don't want to bug, it's a long process. So when the committee narrows it down to 3, it doesn't happen quick. It takes a lot of time in the wider Anglican Church to choose a bishop. So once they narrowed it down to 3, at the standing committee or the synod of the diocese, they would have to elect one candidate. Now remember, the laity and the clergy, including the outgoing bishop, they elect a candidate to be a bishop. And once that candidate is elected, his name is forwarded to the College of Bishops for approval. Remember, in the Roman Catholic Church, they have done their screening before that time. In the Episcopal Church or the or Church of England or Anglican generally, within this process of selection, they also do their background checks. So once the College of Bishops approves that individual to be the bishop, they will now announce to the diocese the elected bishop. That is what they call the confirmation of the bishop elect. So what the College of Bishops actually does is to confirm a candidate, not to elect a candidate. It is the local responsibility of the local parish, of the local diocese, I mean to say, to nominate and elect a bishop. So the bishop is elected among the clergy. They can as well nominate a clergy working outside their diocese. Remember, there is a search committee. The search committee can receive a name from another diocese. And if the person qualifies to be a bishop, they elect him. Once he wins, and he must be a canonically resident priest, wherever he is serving to be elected a bishop. Now, for Church of Nigeria, it is very different. The College of Bishops or the House of Bishops, through their Episcopal Synod, will meet and choose a candidate. Among them, they nominate. Among them, they elect. And the primate confirms and is announced to the entire church. You see, we have a total different way of electing our own bishops in Nigeria. But in Europe, America, Ghana, West Africa, Church of West Africa, Church of Uganda, Church of Ethiopia, all these Church of Jerusalem, they all go through the process of having the lay nominate and the House of Bishop confirms. The lay and clergy nominates, and they somehow elect and sends the name to the House of Bishop for approval. While in Nigeria, the House of Bishop nominates, elects, and also confirms, because the primate is also from that house. For the Pentecostal church, is very different. The founders of the church usually are the bishops of their own church. So when they die, in most cases, their children or wives takes over. But for some of them that have a board, their board will meet and appoint any of the pastors to take over. So their own process is quite different, because it's not uniformed. Some people would allow their wife and children to take over when they die. So the church is registered as a family corporation. But in some churches too, in some Pentecostal churches now, they are allowed to choose among the pastors who will be the next general overseer. Thank you if you found this brief. Remember, again, I want to say something. What we do here is not a compendium or a holistic, it's just to throw a little light so people would know how their faith, the faith they believe in, how it runs. Thank you, and God bless you.